In just under 4 years, I'll be 45. And at that point, I should have around £400,000 in my stocks and shares portfolio. And I'm going to use that in order to retire. Now, a lot of people think I'm massively underestimating how much I need in order to do that. I don't, and I'm going to talk you through that now. So on that £400,000, I'm going to draw down £36,000 a year. Now, before you all scream that I'm crazy or in the comments, let me talk you through why I'm going to do that. So that does represent a 9% withdrawal rate, and I know that's way above the 4% that the internet has advised us is the safe withdrawal limit, or the 3.5%, that's the conservative withdrawal limit. But I believe, for a few different reasons which I'm going to get into, I can afford to be way more aggressive than that. So let me talk you through the reasons why I think I can justify that 9% withdrawal rate, and I can retire at 45 with £400,000 in my ISA. So the first big thing is I don't care about the balance in the ISA running down. So that safe withdrawal rate is designed so that the balance never diminishes. You know, you still end up with the inflation adjusted amount 20 years in the future that you started with. I don't need that, and nor do I care about that. So if that £400,000 starts to go down, I'm absolutely fine with that. And the reason I am is because it's acting as a bridge for me. It's a bridge until I get my private pension at 58 or whatever number that'll be. So it's going to have 12, 13, 14 years, however long it needs to be, to sustain me until my private pension becomes an option. And that's why I'm comfortable with that balance going down, because I've then got another injection of cash or funds that I can draw on in my late 50s when my private pension comes in. And then another one with the state pension, hopefully, if that still exists when I get to that age at 68, whatever that might likely be. So that's the first thing that gives me more comfort in the 9% withdrawal rate. The second thing is the sequence of return risks. Because I am 45 and I do have the option, and hopefully I'm still fit and healthy, if the stock market crashes, I won't draw down on my investments. So I won't, take a double dip from my investments. If the money crashes in there and is cut significantly, drops 20% overnight or 40%, I'll continue working, or I'll get a job and earn money so we can sustain ourselves through that, rather than taking money from the investments. And likely I try and contribute to that as well when the market's down. And I think those sequence of return risks has a huge impact on being more aggressive in how much you withdraw. If you get through the first few years unscathed in terms of market crashes, then the likelihood of your portfolio being successful over that period greatly increases. So that's the second reason why I feel more comfortable in the 9% withdrawal rate. The other thing for me as well, I don't even know what I'll do at 45. I've got this number in mind where I'll retire, but more than anything, what it does is gives me options. When I get to 45, I'll readjust and I'll assess where I'm at. And it's becoming increasingly more likely now that I'll continue doing something and I'll have some form of income. I will continue doing projects like this that I enjoy and hopefully can help others, like YouTube. I do some coaching in my private life that I really enjoy, helping people get better. I've been fortunate that I can start to make some money from that as well. So I'm even more confident that I will still earn money at 45, even though I won't have to. And again, that's another reason why I'm very confident in being so aggressive with the safe withdrawal limit. But the other thing for me is, people will say that's crazy, you're taking a huge risk, so many different things could happen. And that is very true, so many things could happen. But the other risk is my life, is working away. I'm quite fortunate in the position I'm in now. I've engineered this where I'm working for myself. I've got my own business and I'm doing things that I enjoy more than I ever have. However, a lot of people aren't in that situation. They are a slave till the 9 to 5 and they can't wait to get out of that. And I think they put it off too long. When I've looked into the numbers and looked into a lot of people who invest, they tend to die with massively more than what they started in their pensions. Because this 4% withdrawal rate, I believe, is very, very modest, and I think we can be more aggressive with it. And I don't mind if the balance in my ISAs goes down. People say to me, but what about your kids? What are you going to do with them? What are you going to leave them? I've got a different view on that. I don't want my kids to inherit a lot of money from me when I die, hopefully well into my 80s or later. What I do want to do is give them money along the way. But also, the reason I want to do that is, I think it'll help them more. So they'll need money more in their late teens and early 20s than they probably will in their 40s and 50s, I would hope. But also from a personal point of view, if I can give them money then, I also get the benefit of that. I get to see their enjoyment in that money, if it's me helping them buy their first house or their first car or helping them go on a big holiday or something that they want to do, or even taking them away as a family and doing things and experiences we can do together. That's huge for me. So again, that's another reason why I don't care if the balance in my investments goes down. I'd love to die with zero, as Bill Perkins put it, and get to that point where I've got nothing and I've used every ounce of life and every ounce of money that I've had to, make the best of the time that I've got here. And all of these things contribute and make me really confident in this withdrawal rate that I've got in this plan. And look, if it all goes wrong, which things can, right, I'll adjust and I'll make a decision and I'll change things. And I'm not wedded to any ideas that I have. Things might change, but what I am going to do is document it all here in this journey. Like I say, I've got about three years and 8 months now until I actually hit 45, and then I'm going to document everything, where I am, what I'm at, so everybody can see if this works and if I look like a fool and I fall flat on my face or not. So let me know. It'd be interesting to see everybody else's numbers. What safe withdrawal numbers are you working to? What's your end goal in terms of the balance in your ISA? And your pensions. So to touch on the pension as well, hopefully my pension at that point at 58 should be worth around £800,000 as well, and that sustains me right through until the private pension comes in to help that, but also right the way through in life. So that's my plan. That's where I'm at. Tell me I'm crazy in the comments if you like. I know 9% sounds very aggressive, but that's what I'm working to. Any questions or anything, as always, throw them in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one.